That are, you know,
Coachella.com.
WallStreetWindow.com. Gold, silver, the stock market. WallStreetWindow.com. Perhaps you're invested deeply. Perhaps you're not in deep enough. Maybe you're thinking about getting started. WallStreetWindow.com. Michael Swanson, the brilliant author of The War State, understood these trends professionally for many years, and now he gives you the benefit of his knowledge. WallStreetWindow.com. Go there now. Go there now. Go there now.
The views expressed by callers, co-hosts, or anyone else who happens to get on the air at Ocelli.com do not necessarily reflect the views of Ocelli.com or Chuck Ocelli, and we are not responsible for any stupidity which might ensue. Thank you.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I'm interested in the truth about the JFK assassination.
Right. Well, what do you want to know?
Judy Baker's wild claim, Oswald girlfriend, she knew Ruby and Barry, cancer weapons. Really?
I imagine I could claim I have 4 wheels. It doesn't make me a wagon, but okay.
Oswald was on the kill team and trying to prevent the murder of John Kennedy. Come on now. Has a real expert on the JFK assassination looked into her claims?
Go to Amazon.com, enter Judith Baker in her own words. You'll get results for a digital copy of a book where Walt Brown utilizes her own words and the known evidence in the case to get at, well, a different perspective, let's say. You can get Judith Barry Baker in her own words from the author himself, signed if you request it, by contacting Dr. Brown at KIASJFK@AOL.com. It's a fun book.
Revelation through conversation.
Warning, 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 warning. This is an emergency broadcast. Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's going to hit the eardrums. Uncle the Broadcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. No callers tonight, people. No callers. And want to say This is 325.
It is. So episode 325.
25
We're doing
episode.
something different. We're not taking calls, at least for a while, Uncle. I think we'll bring the phone lines back eventually. But we're just going to do a little change up for a minute.
Yeah, because it's my show, and what I've been doing was a mess-up operation.
It was?
Couldn't get a talking to the customer to talk to the man. And I'm having that trouble.
Oh gosh, you know more than I do, Uncle.
Yes,
right?
I know my ways. I know what I have been doing that's got to stop. And
Really?
just like your wife was saying, we have to do some kind of talk. So I'm trying to figure. I'm going to do tonight some shows on what I've been watching.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of shows.
Uncle, we're going to test ourselves.
Test ourselves? On
Yes.
what?
Well, for so long, perhaps maybe we've relied on calls.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Are we even actual podcasters, broadcasters? Do we have the ability to speak about a topic? Do we know what we're doing?
I'm thinking of the topic I'm going to talk about is the game things I've been listening and watching.
Okay, we'll do that moment. Before we do, I do want to make the point that we may not have calls, but boy, do we have crack rooms. We have the Ohtani.com chat room. We have the chats at Twitch and YouTube.
I don't mind them listening in, but no calls.
Yeah. We're not going to take calls, yeah.
No calls, but I would like them listening in.
We want them in the
out
chat
of the
room.
country and all them things, but not to call in.
We actually might pay attention more to the chat rooms this way. It's like we'll see what's going on in the chat room, and maybe maybe if it makes sense, we'll interact with the chat room. But whatever, we're changing things up. But take heart, the phone lines I think will be back eventually. We're just hanging them up for a minute. But anyway,
we have to do some talking for ourselves. That's the problem.
We're
not doing the talking.
We're not doing the talking.
And what we're doing is the guests are talking more than we are.
Well,
that's the problem in the phone bill, in the phone problem. And that's what I think it's happening
I
here.
don't know if it's as much of a problem as you're saying it is. Like when we have a guest, when we have a guest on, we want them to talk most of the time.
Well, yeah, most of the time. But
That's
what
true.
do we get out of it? No, we don't get to talk. This is my point.
Yeah. Well, there's a difference between a guest and a caller, Uncle.
Oh,
There's a difference.
what's the difference in that?
Well, a guest is somebody that you like. I book the guests on this show, really. So what it is, if I find somebody I think would be a good guest, I send them an email, I get a hold of them somehow, I'm like, hey, would you like to come on the show? You will be the guest. We'll be interviewing you on Uncle the Podcast. You can talk about, your website, your book, or your videos, or whatever the heck it is you do. You're going to be the guest. You're going to be our guest. And then they come on the show, and we kind of focus on them. The show's focus is on them because they've come as the special guest.
Right, well,
And that's what they are.
Well, I understand that point.
The call line is something you open up. Typically, the standard format show would be, okay, show, guest. You open up the call lines. Hey, caller, we have so-and-so as our guest tonight. Do you have a question for him? And then they ask one question. And you go, okay, caller, see you later.
Oh, maybe that's not a better idea.
Maybe.
That's a good idea. Using your head there, sidekick. Now it's about time somebody was using somebody's head.
Honestly, I need to get more guests on the show. I do like the guest shows. We will have more, and we've done pretty good this year. I think we've done pretty good at getting a few guests. I want to keep working on that and keep getting more. So we're not opposed to anything. We're not opposed to callers. We're not opposed to guests. We're gonna have both. Tonight we're not doing calls. We're not having a guest yet either because I didn't book one. Oopsie, that's my fault.
Well,
but these things happen. Sue me, Uncle.
No, I was just listening. I was listening to Bun Mine Bob.
Ooh.
On his Instagram.
What's he up to?
He has a drink for you.
For
that
me?
you might like.
Oh.
That he's looking into.
Okay.
So that's. I throw him over to Low Revolution. I give him the Revolution year time. bum mine because he gets the drinks. And I figured this. I know, that's what we're talking about. And he gets the drinks, so he gets them to get to know when the New Year's revolution. So when my revolution comes out, I expect to hear from him. But
yeah, he showed up this year.
That's the main man I want to.
Maybe we could get him as more of a regular guest, because I know that he suggested even maybe doing that. Maybe we could call on Bob. It would be easy to do. We know how to get a hold of him. Maybe Bob could be like a guest for an entire show on a fairly regular basis. Even if it were like once a month, you could call that regular, recurring.
We can use that.
Maybe I need to get a hold of him and ask him that.
Yeah, we can ask him that then.
Maybe
I mean, because you're the one that call these people. And what I like to do is knock our neighbors over here and find out how they're doing on their business calls.
Oh, yeah.
I've been sitting here waiting.
You're talking about the neighbors that make online content for a living, right?
Right.
Yes.
I want to find out what their thinking is.
I think their thinking is make social media accounts that get hundreds of thousands and millions of views on each video, and I think they're doing it.
I just like to know how we can maybe go that a little direction. If you want.
Yeah, maybe when I haven't seen them for the longest time, I feel like they're kind of like when they first moved in.
They run around in their cars. What you have to do is, excuse me, can we speak to you? I mean, when you're walking the dog or something.
Yeah, but
I mean, this is how you get to talk to people.
Yeah, I know. It's a fine line, Uncle. That there's a lot of things going on with that. First of all, I don't want to be a nuisance to a neighbor. First of all, which I'm not saying we would be if we did that. I'm not saying that.
I want to be a nuisance, of course, but I don't want
to intrude. I want to, if anything, like strike up a conversation that's natural with them and be a good neighbor. First of all,
that's what I'm looking at. For a neighbor to be natural to talk to. Right.
But honestly, in our world, and even in our neighborhood, we do have really good neighbors. We do have a few, but not everybody is. I'm not saying that these guys wouldn't be or couldn't be, but it's kind of hard to talk to people for some reason.
Well, first of all, you're working a lot.
That's
the problem there.
That's another thing. Yeah,
that's the problem there.
So if it comes down on me, I have limited resources in terms of time. Like I'm just not around.
You're not around much.
Walking the dog, I don't do that much. I'm just not here very much.
That's the problem you have. Well,
not that big a deal. It's just the reality of the situation.
And if and your wife do the walking.
They do.
But we don't see him during the day.
See, you don't see,
And that's the problem, because she say, no. It's his job. It's his job.
Oh.
What the heck? We got to talk to these
people. Wait. Okay, I'm trying to understand this, Uncle. So when you're out walking the dogs,
right,
you go by the house of our neighbors in question. Do you sometimes see them outside? Do you see them?
I seen a few the father sometimes.
Sometimes.
And I see. I don't know if it's the daughter, but I've talked to the daughter. Okay. Now I don't know if that's her, but she said she's a teacher. I don't know, but these are the people I talk to, and I got to talking to them, but I didn't talk to them about the broadcasting. I think it's the father and the mother and the son that's in the broadcasting, but I can't sort of get the parents together.
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
I don't know exactly how the family works either. There's confusion with you here on who's who, and I have the same confusion. I don't know exactly who's who when it comes to what's going on over there. Yeah. I haven't talked to them enough to know them on that personal level. All I know is that they park a car. The only reason we figured this out is because we probably would have figured it out later from somebody else who's a neighbor. But the way that I figured it out, I'm kind of proud of this. It was very easy to do, but I'm still proud. One of the kids has a car He parks it in the driveway. It's usually always out. And it has an Instagram profile on the window or the bumper or something.
Which is it, the yellow one or the white one?
It's the white car. It's the white Mustang.
It's that guy that does the speeding.
5.0 underscore the GOAT is this Ford Mustang. It says that. It's clearly an Instagram profile. So I looked it up one day. I looked it up. Okay, what's this 5.0 the GOAT? I want to see. I've done this with other neighbors, by the way, Uncle, who live in this neighborhood, who do not have the level of online prominence that these neighbors do. But nonetheless, they post their Instagram account on their car window anyway.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, whether it be 1 million followers or 50 followers, people tend to put that on their window either way.
I didn't know that. I didn't even watch that. I just hear this guy going out and making noise.
Yeah.
He gets going, and I said, well, that's that white Mustang again.
That's it, yeah.
I didn't realize.
So, yeah, I found the Instagram account because it's on there. It's written on there. If somebody writes an Instagram account on their car, they want you to go look at it. So I am obliging them, going, okay, I'll see your Instagram account. I did, and then I saw who it was. And he's got tons of views, got a huge online presence.
So it's the son too into the view.
It's a son is one of them, and then his brother. And again, I'm not exactly sure how the family works. Maybe they're not brothers. Maybe they're stepbrothers. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know about that.
But there's 2 young men that live there. Each one of them has very gigantic social media presence. In their own. And one of them is making a foray into like radio, I want to say. And in terms of radio, I'm talking about like making music that plays on the radio, apparently.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it walking the dogs at night. I heard some kind of thing, and he has a blue room.
Yes, exactly. So they have some sort of, obviously they've got some sort of lighting situation going on, because if you walk by the house at night, there's some sort of crazy colored lights. Of course there are. They have like probably every room in the house is a studio, right?
2. One and his, and one, 2 rooms down, and there's a white one in between. It might be the bathroom. Who knows?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what's in the house, but that's my thinking.
Yeah, so these are our neighbors.
Yeah, these are our neighbors. I was just curious to know.
So let's figure out. I mean, yeah, what's our goal in having them as neighbors? I guess is what we're kind of like working out right now. What do we want? Where do we start? Do we just start by like we want, just like with anybody other neighbor that we have, whether they be on social media making?
Are they interested to listen to ours and we'll listen to theirs? I mean, that's all I asked.
Well, yeah.
I mean, could we?
Do we want to have a neighbor that we actually talk to, that we actually know at some level, some sort of personal thing going on? And we've been able to do that with some neighbors. Some neighbors don't want to do that. Well, and if they don't, then there's nothing you can do with that. I don't know whether
I understand that. If they don't want, fine. We don't need to. But I'm just wanna see, because I want to get people the close.
Yeah.
To have something that each other's talk about. I mean,
we have
ours,
I know,
and they have theirs, and we can go. Oh, you do this.
Yeah,
you do this, and that's all.
Yeah. I just don't want to be putting the cart before the horse.
What's the cart before the horse?
I would like it if we could be good neighbors with them, like we are with certain of our other neighbors, where we're on speaking terms. Maybe we even hang out sometimes. We do that with some of our neighbors. You know, we know them on a personal level. That's always nice. It's cool. It's like, okay, this is a cool neighbor that we know. They're more than a neighbor. They become a friend. Or I guess, that's a neighbor's supposed to be anyway. I don't know. I'm not sure what the ideal is there that we're playing around with.
Well,
but I don't think we've even done that. And
no, we haven't done anything. But the only thing is, I did get to talk to, I think it was the daughter.
Okay.
And the father.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 I got to talk to.
Okay.
And
that's cool.
They seem to be nice people, from my stand, what I've heard talked to. They seem to be nice people.
My first impression of all of them, and a lot of the younger guys were out when they first moved in. They were like very friendly and like waving and saying hello. I was like, oh, okay, we got a good new set of neighbors that moved into this house. And I was excited. Like, okay, this is a good group of people that are friendly and they're open and they're not like complete shut-ins. Obviously, they're like making eye contact with me. I like this.
Well, yeah.
That was a good first impression they made on me. So I really enjoyed that.
Well, they did us when we was walking the dogs.
Yeah.
Me, your wife, me and your wife, as we were walking down with the dogs, and I introduced me, I'm the uncle, and she's my niece.
This is what you said?
Said to them, and going on from there, but I didn't want to get into my thing here yet until I got you to talking about it. Yeah. But again, I know we're buying you hard to.
I don't know quite how to approach this because I like the idea of like potentially having them as a guest on the show, absolutely. But again, I don't want to put the cart before the horse because they are our neighbors.
Mm.
Don't be a good neighbor to her from Blue Velvet. I'm not sure if anybody knows that reference, but I'll send you a love letter. But yeah, it's not going to be like that by any means. But I don't know. It's just we'll see. And then maybe you also bring up a good point, Uncle, in that perhaps we should construct, and I think we could at this point, maybe a good studio area here where we could perhaps have guests live in studio if we needed them to be, would be nice.
That's what I was thinking of. If they'd like, if we've got to touching with our neighbor, that could be potentially could help this here to go on.
It could.
I mean, that's my thinking about it.
In fact, Uncle, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but I think the party people might be back making their podcast again. Did you know this?
No. Nobody mentioned that to me.
I think they're back. I'm not even completely sure. I need to get a hold of them.
Oh, I know. They'll get on.
Yeah.
They'll be more.
The Listening Party podcast.
Listening podcast. So they decided to come back. I think I know the reason.
Oh, yeah?
They want to catch me with me.
You're the reason they came back.
I think. No, I'm not sure.
Okay, maybe.
That's pun.
Could be.
I mean, because... they would, and she was talking to you, and I was talking.
Yeah. Rod gets a hold of me still. He'll send me messages. Yeah, he does. He's good. Rod is very good at staying in touch, better than I am. So I mean, what I should do is get a hold of them, see if they are podcasting again, because I'm not 100. I know they were. I don't know if they still are.
But that's your job to find out.
Yes.
I mean, you do find out these callers and whatever else. Your department.
We're building a list tonight.
That's a good idea. That's what I was thinking.
We'll
build a list to know what we're going to do in this broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm aiming to do.
There we go. What are we even doing?
Well, that's one thing. I had something to talk about, but that's it. That's one thing we can almost talk about.
Yeah.
And but I was back to talking.
Oh yeah, I threw you off track at the beginning, and that's my fault. Uncle.
Well,
do we want to get back to the topic that you wanted to? Because we could get back to that. You were watching a show. Did you want to do that?
I was watching this show, and I'm still on a show on it. It's a series of
unfortunate events.
Hawkeye is the hunter, and it's the red coats against the blue coats. And they were fighting, going back and forth fighting, and the lady's husband got kidnapped.
The husband got kidnapped.
And
in the series. What? Okay, I have a question. What time period does this? It's a series. Well, first of all, is this a series, like a series of shows?
Streaming? A plain series.
Okay, plain series. Okay, got that. Now, in this series, what period of time and what place does this series take place in?
It's 1755.
1755 is a year?
Is the year. That's
Okay,
right. That's right.
okay.
Now I remember.
And the place is America, or what would be America in the near future of 1755? Colonial America?
It might be. Yeah. I'm not sure of the country or
It's not the United States? Or before it was the United States? United
before,
States?
I'd say.
It's the...
It's before, I believe.
North America?
North America, it's this, but it is a southern flag.
Oh, so they show... You're talking about the Confederate flag from the Civil War? Like that red with the cross?
Wait a minute.
Like
wait a minute.
the Confederate rebel
I
flag, so to
have
speak?
to look at it again in the beginning.
Does that make an appearance in the series?
It's something. No,
Or is it the red, white, and blue flag that we are familiar with? Perhaps maybe with the stars, the 13 stars in the circle.
It has red in it, but I gotta look
It's
at
a
it
red
again.
flag. Is it all red?
No,
Is there white and blue? Is it red, white, and blue?
not a country of the flag. No, it's not the country flag. I gotta look at
Is
it.
it a state flag?
It might be. It's something to do with It's something to do with the war.
Is it a nautical flag?
A nautical. Something with a nautical flag. I have to see the colors again.
Okay.
I mean, they do show the flag
Okay.
on the show.
All right. So,
I have to look at it.
so we know a couple things for certain.
Yeah,
What we're talking about is a series.
it's a series. Yes,
It's streaming on something. It's a series.
it's
It takes place in the year 1750.
yeah.
And there's a red flag.
I think so.
Literally. Not a red flag like, ooh, we're in trouble. A literal red flag is in this.
I think so. I have to look at the flag again because I'm not sure. But it's
Good start. I like
It
this.
is though. It is 1755. Is when
1755,
it
okay.
starts.
1755.
So that's the year it starts.
Got it.
It's sort of it's on the Cowboys episode section.
There are cowboys in the series?
No Cowboys, but it's in that section of where it is.
Oh, you're talking about when you're on the streaming platform. Is
On the
this
streaming
Netflix or something?
Not Netflix.
Some other streaming thing.
It's on the Cowboy networks. Whatever the Cowboy network.
Yes, got it. So they file this series.
It's a series.
Yes.
Into that.
It's a western.
It's like a western, but not a western.
It's grouped with the other westerns. When
Yeah.
you go to watch it, it's like if you like this, you'll also watch Bonanza, right? Maybe Bonanza or some other western series will pop up. If you like this, you'll also like this when
Right.
you're on the streaming platform.
But
looking it
it's
up.
a streaming platform.
I see.
You haven't seen it. But
No,
if you'd
no.
seen it, if you come down and see what I'm watching, you can explain it. I mean, but that's another
Ooh,
thing.
Count Pupper is in the chat. He's saying it's a show about people who have a red flag. That's true. He's right.
It has a little red flag, but I don't know what else. I have to look at this flag again. I mean, but the problem is, I don't know if it's blue or if it's red.
Oh,
I mean,
it could be blue or red.
Uh,
But it's not red, white, and blue. It's
No,
either
no,
blue
no.
or red.
It's not the country of the flag. I can tell you that. This flag is not the country of the flag.
So it's not a national flag.
No.
It's not a banner of a nation,
No.
state. It's something else. It's a flag.
Yeah, it's a flag.
It's a different kind of flag.
But a different kind of flag.
State flag, perhaps?
No.
I know that state flags. Okay, no, not state. No, right.
The lady in the show, she's from Georgia, by the way. She come from
You're talking
Georgia.
about the actress who plays this character is from Georgia in real life?
No, I don't know if real life.
Or you're saying the character comes from Georgia?
Yeah.
Her character
Well, she
was
come
born
from-
in Georgia?
She come from Georgia, but I don't know if she's the
Colonial Georgia.
I think so.
So presumably
sure.
this series takes place in colonial America because the woman who's a main character,
That's the
you're
lady.
talking about a main character lady?
Yeah.
She was born in Georgia.
Right.
Okay, so if you're living in the year 1755, you're born in Georgia, most likely you're living somewhere still in the continental United States.
Well, that's possibly then.
Like maybe you moved to Europe, or like what would you do other than that? If somebody was born into colonial America, they're going to stay there most likely.
Right. They just came to a different town. This was a different place with a fort.
There's a fort.
This is the fort.
Okay, we've got another thing. There's a fort.
The redcoats are in.
The redcoats? There's redcoats?
There's redcoats and there's blue coats. Now, I usually they're uniforms. They're uniforms I'm talking about.
Are these servicemen in red?
Yes.
These are soldiers.
Soldiers. They're soldiers.
Okay. Yes. All right.
Yes. They're soldiers.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
The year 1755. Maybe a blue flag, maybe a red flag.
Yeah, it might be. Woman
from Georgia, born in Georgia. And
soldiers
who are in blue coats and soldiers who are in red coats.
Yeah.
So this is leaning toward it seems like we're talking about the Revolutionary War, right? Like the lead up to the Revolutionary War.
Might be, that.
The lead up. Because
the
it's
lead
before,
up to it. Maybe the lead up to it. Yeah, but it isn't the war yet.
No, not yet.
But yeah, that's it. That's what I think we're talking about.
That's what the series is.
I think it's talking about, yeah. And there's Indians and
Uncle, Count Pupper wants to know, are you watching something called Turn? Is it called Turn? Turn. He says he wonders if maybe you're watching that. And he'd like to know if we can get a name of an actor in this if you have it. Hawkeye.
Hawkeye is the one guy that is the hunter. The
hunter.
What do they call them when they go to the war? He's a
So this is like a military position,
no.
rank or something.
It's a guy that goes out looking for things.
He's a scout.
Scout. No, this is a scouter. This is a scout. And there's a scouts.
He's doing recon. Yeah,
they're scouts.
Okay.
And this guy's a scout, and he's in this series.
Okay.
Hawkeye is the scout.
Sure.
And he runs the redcoats.
So he's British, I assume. Is this guy? Does he speak with a British? Does he have a British accent?
I'm not sure the voice, but in it. But I'm not very close to listening to voices while I'm watching shows.
Frankly, I don't know the year that the Blue Coats, the Revolutionary American Army, took on the Blue Coats and started fighting the British military, which wore the red. I don't know the exact years of that. Honestly. I'd have to look at that. But you're saying it's 1755 in this, and we're seeing blue coats and red coats.
Yeah.
So my assumption is that they already were doing that. But again, I'd have to look at I'd have to brush up on my old history to know for certain when it comes to that.
If you want after the show, I'll show you the show because it's on pause.
Okay.
I got it on pause. If you want to come down,
take a look at it. And then I'll actually discuss this if we don't have the time. Okay.
Discuss this next week. I mean, I'm going to continue this conversation. I mean, because this is a very good show.
Okay, good.
I mean.
So it's a good show. We know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I've been watching it from the beginning, actually.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah. So
now, Uncle, we also have action in the Ohtani.com chat. It looks like our friend Ed is there, I think. He's asking where the mailbox is. He's asking where our mailbox is.
Is that the sidekick?
I know.
He hasn't got it yet.
I don't.
Well, tell him hurry up and get one. And because I think he's got letters for us.
Yeah,
right? I know he has letters. What am I talking about?
I got to set up another one. I
get
have yet
going there, sidekick.
Yes.
Get moving.
Yes. Okay. So there's one thing. Let's see what else he says in the chat. He's saying almost baseball season, Uncle, and Ohtani is a Dodger now.
I know.
What do you feel about that?
Go to the blue.
Go to the blue.
We're not going for the red.
Oh, talk about blue and red coats, Uncle. It's
Here
back
we are
again.
Back in with the red coats
blue
again.
And red.
Blue and red. But I have a feeling, though, Ed, if you're there, I have a feeling that I'm going to throw under the bus.
Uh-oh.
I hate to say this word, but the Angels under the bus.
You say that you personally are throwing the Angels team under the bus, or Ohtani did that? Ohtani did that?
Ohtani did it.
Oh.
Ohtani did it.
I see.
It's going
Well,
to the Dodgers.
they made him a pretty good offer.
Well, I know that. I know, and he wanted. But what he wants, I agree with.
He wants to win.
Exactly.
He made the right decision there.
He made that right decision, but
Yeah.
they haven't done a thing in the Angels on the front office. Now I'm going to the top. He does not know how to put a team for championships. Now that I got something I'm talking about. Now we can talk about this.
So Ed's saying, good decision, Uncle. Time to be a Dodger fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
for his type.
Did you go to Dodger Stadium, Uncle? Have you,
I did.
Did you go there with us when we saw a game?
Yeah, we did.
You did?
We did.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if you were there with us.
Yeah, we went.
I remember that I went.
We went. Sam went.
That's right.
And you and everybody, and even Nana went.
Because we put the photos on Instagram, and there's a picture that I posted of you standing in front of the Euphorbia amac plants planted in the large planters outside of Dodger Stadium.
Right.
Now I remember.
Yeah. Now you remember?
At Uncle Podcast Instagram. You better follow it.
Follow that. We're there.
Uncle, we need to, in lieu of phone calls, we need to dedicate more time.
Push this button.
Yes.
Push this button, people, and let's get rolling.
Push it. Push the button on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. We're at Uncle Podcast. Press all those buttons. We're going to keep saying this a lot because we have all the time in the world, Uncle. We're just going to talk about pressing buttons. Every show, all show.
Well,
that's what Uncle the Podcast is from here on out. And if you're lucky, we'll have a guest every now and again.
Yeah, once in a while. We'll put it for once in a while, have a guest. But for us, we've got to do what we're doing tonight. Figure out what we're talking about. Having this conversation is very good.
Yeah. FaZe Lurking says, y'all are leaving me on the line. I'm not sure what that means, honestly.
What's that?
FaZe Lurking? Is that FaZe Shifter, which is Ed? I assume this is Ed on Twitch? How would Ed is on Twitch? I don't know. It's all sorts of new... We've changed up the format ever so slightly, and I'm finding myself very confused, Uncle.
Yeah, that's something to use up there.
Yeah.
Use that sometimes.
What if
use this?
What if nothing's in here, Uncle? What then?
It straightens that out. Maybe you can figure it out. Hey, what's he talking about? Let's use that up there for a while. Instead of when we are using these crazy things, this is a future coming. What is the future coming to? Not using this.
Coming to the present.
And doing this.
Yeah.
That's the problem we're having right now.
Well, this gets back to the original idea of, do we, as podcasters, as broadcasters, have the ability to sit in front of microphones for an hour and actually have a conversation?
Well, what we're doing now. We can get going once I know what we're talking about.
The answer's a solid maybe as it stands right now.
Possibly?
Possibly, yeah.
I'll put it possibly on top of that.
Let's call it maybe moving into possibly.
Yeah.
By the end of the show, we'll know for sure if it's a yes or a no. But we haven't gotten there yet.
We haven't gotten there yet because we were doing with.
What do you think the odds in Vegas are on that one right now, Uncle?
50 to 1.
50 to 1. And what's the 50 and what's the 1? Is the 50 against us or for us and being able to have a show where we talk?
Maybe for us.
50, okay, so 50 to 1 for us in our favor.
1 against whatever that mean.
Well, I don't know who the hell it is that makes those statistics, who the statisticians of Vegas are, but thank you. Nameless, faceless, probably algorithmic.
Because I can get into a conversation just listening to my mouth talk. I'm doing it now, for example.
I've seen that.
So I figured if we can't do anything, I can do the talking on my show.
The fallback.
That's it. The fallback.
When in doubt on Uncle the Podcast, just have Uncle start talking.
That's it. And I figured if that's the case, we can do that. If we have something, if you want to jump in to say something, go ahead. I mean, we can both talk about this. We could talk about the compound.
The Compound?
The compound we've been watching.
This is another series we're watching?
No.
What compound are we watching?
The football compound.
Oh, the combine.
The combine.
Oh, I thought you meant
compound.
like a structure compound. Like
No.
somebody's like building a compound that they live out. Maybe like the Johnson Valley guys that are building bombs out there in a compound. Say the word compound, that sort of stuff just kind of pops into my head. But that's
popped into people's heads. I can understand.
I'm a victim of my own programming, Uncle.
That's it. That's the problem.
Whoops. Did I do that? But, the Combine. You were watching the NFL Combine today?
Combine, yeah, I've been watching that.
Okay. What's going on?
Tomorrow, it's the quarterbacks and the running backs that I was looking when I looked. The tight ends I watched.
That was today.
And the wide receivers.
Tight ends and wide receivers were both today. Okay, I saw some of the tight end stuff. I didn't see the wide receivers out there.
They're out there.
Who looks good?
They all look good.
They all do.
Yeah.
Okay. Good prospects.
The prospects are good.
Okay.
But it's what's gonna be interested in this year is the quarterback position. I'm gonna curious how many in first round or in the second round, how far the quarterbacks go. I'm very interested to find out. And the one guy I'm really interested in is this Georgia guy, number 19. Well, I believe they're hinting is Cincinnati.
Is he a quarterback?
No, he's a tight end.
He's a tight end. With that number, 19? Don't they usually have like 80 numbers and all that?
Either that or it was a wide receiver.
Wide receiver?
What was he? In Georgia.
That could be a wide receiver number.
I think it might be a wide receiver. But they're saying, the commenters are saying he may go to Cincinnati.
Oh, because they need a receiver, yeah.
Can you imagine him throwing it to that guy?
About Burrow, right?
Burrow. Can you imagine him throwing it to this guy?
I guess I have to.
This could be good.
Could make for a good team.
Yeah.
All right, so Cincinnati needs to fill the wide receiver position. You're talking about quarterback is all the rage. What teams need to take on a new quarterback? Who really needs one the most? What team needs a new quarterback the most?
New England.
Patriots,
because I don't know what they're doing with Jones. Yeah. That's out the window.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets have the name man.
Who is there? Is it that Wilson guy?
No, I think they get.
Oh, you're talking about Rodgers? They still have him?
Yeah.
He hasn't given up yet?
No.
Oh, God, he's asking
for
it's
because he was injured.
I know.
This they still have him.
He's going to get more injured if he keeps going. That's my point. He needs to know when to say when.
He don't know when.
I guess not.
The problem is, but he wants to keep playing. You can't force a guy if he still wants to play.
Ooh, Creative Accidents is dropping comments in from Twitter X.
Ooh,
he says, "Hey guys, late but here. Hello."
Oh, he's back in. How long has he been back?
He's been around. Yeah, I think he was on a vacation for a minute, but he's back in a big way, Uncle. And he's on Twitter X dropping comments in. That is a rare thing to see, actually, on the comment section on the live stream. I'm glad to see it. Yeah. I'm here, he says. Yes, thank you for that, Creative Accidents. We've got Twitch comments. We've got X comments, and I think I saw a YouTube comment as well, which makes for the trifecta, which I don't know if we've had on previous podcasts.
No, we didn't have a trifecta.
I don't remember
That's
that happening.
my first trifecta.
There we go.
That's my first on my podcast.
Oh my gosh, look at us go.
I'm moving along with it.
We're moving.
And I think we are doing a better job talking about something on this podcast than having said nothing.
Oh. Yeah.
For tonight.
So
my mouth is walking and it's talking. As you say. What are you laughing at there, sidekick? I get in his kin over here. Sidekick is laughing his head off.
You're a living Yellow Pages, Uncle. But it's not your fingers, it's your mouth.
Somebody's dinging.
Yes, it's all right. There's a ding, but we can handle these things.
What the heck is a ding?
First trifecta. That's what Crab Accents is saying. So, yeah, I think it might be. Yeah, a lot going on in the crack rooms.
Another ding.
It's all right. Don't worry about the dings. It's just something on the old computer here. Yeah, and it looks like Ed is all over the Ocelli chat. He was saying earlier that he is not on Twitch. So if somebody's a phase on Twitch, it's not him, it's somebody else.
Oh.
So he's saying it's an imposter, Uncle.
So that wasn't him.
No, it was somebody on there. I'm not sure who.
And if anybody's interested, I have my show here. Uncle the Broadcast Show on Saturdays.
Yes, you're talking about the VCR?
VCR.
We're not going to be able to do it tomorrow, so we should address this. Tomorrow we can't do it. We would be, and we didn't do it last week either, so apologies. We didn't do it last week. We can't do it tomorrow.
Oh, that's
but
because
we'll be
your
back.
parents are back.
It is,
It's your parents are coming in. And
we'll be back with it, though.
We'll probably be back the following week.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, Yeah, stay tuned. Hey, you know what you might want to do is press the button on our social media accounts so you can stay updated.
Yeah.
Like on Twitter, we can tell you, put updates whether we're going to do a show or not.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, push those buttons.
Yeah, there we go. Push the button on Twitter at Uncle Podcast.
And if Ed, you're not working on Saturdays, you're welcome to listen or watch.
Oh, yeah. Everybody who can watch, we hope that you do. But yes, don't look for us tomorrow on YouTube. We won't be there. We'll be back soon, though. Do not worry about that. We like watching our VHS tapes. Yeah. We've got a couple still we haven't watched.
We've got these two.
We've got a couple. That one is the one that we can't watch.
This is the one we're talking about.
I would like to watch. I might watch that anyway.
That one, but we can't watch it for something sakes of people.
We went to great lengths explaining that.
Gee.
It's because of lawyers.
Lawyer problems.
That's the short
on
story.
that one.
Mm-hmm. But that's okay. We got plenty of VHS tapes we can pick up that I feel okay about watching on YouTube.
Have you gotten any newer ones lately? Or returned?
No, I've returned. I have returned some of the old ones, but I haven't gotten new ones for a few weeks now. I'll go back. I'll go back to the thrift store because I gotta get back there anyway. So
I want to look for that. That shirt I'm looking for. I'm still looking for him.
Kobe Bryant jersey.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get. I've seen you think there on Tuesdays, but I haven't been able to go.
No.
And they got them.
Senior day on Tuesday at the thrift store.
At the one that you look for your shirts.
Yeah. That's a good. We have some good ones here in Riverside. Right? We've got some pretty good thrift stores.
But I haven't seen any. I want to go to other ones.
You know where they're the best? The best thrift stores in California that I've seen are in the Coachella Valley.
Down in the
Palm Springs, the Palm Springs area.
They have them there?
They have many thrift shops there, and they are good. They have
Maybe
good
we
ones.
should check that one for.
We need to.
What I need to find.
We need to.
Maybe I am finding it. Never know.
We actually will have reason to be out in that area more often here as well. So I think. My wife and I talk about going to the thrift shops like, oh, we need to do that. Oh, we need to do that. But we just never get around to it. But I think in the near future, we will get around to it.
I do want to go to that because I want to go to these thrift stores out there because I want to, look for something.
You know what? In terms of guests, to cycle back around to that, I've been thinking that I should put more efforts into inviting guests that are proprietors of local businesses.
What is
There's a
that?
few businesses that I find either just curious or it's a cool business, and that we could either go into the business and ask if they want to come on the show, or I could get a hold of them through social media too and be like, hey, do you want to come on our show? We live in Riverside too. Cool. Why don't you come on? It could be good.
If you could do it that way. Welcome to do that. They did that.
I think I'm going to go for that and try, because there's a couple of places that are like, first of all, there's a couple, like, I will give an example. One store is a curiosity just because of the name of the business. It brings up a lot of questions in my mind. There's a store called, or it's a business, I don't even know what it is. It says Human Computer. The name of the business is Human Computer.
Let's find out about that one. I'm very interested in hearing that one.
Yeah, right?
I want to get into that one. Find out about that one.
Yeah,
Because that
want
would
to.
that could help. Actually, could help both of us.
When the world is a human computer.
That could help both of us. In some way, I don't know, but some way.
I want to know what a human computer is. I want to know what human computer the business is.
Yeah.
It could be a good show. Human computer, the proprietor of the business. Here's the owner, whoever it is.
Yeah.
Could be a really good guest, Uncle.
Well,
you
can work on that.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're the one that gets the guest. And so I'm giving it to you.
That's just one example. And then Creative Accents is asking, how are the beef people?
Oh, yeah, the beef people. We may get back to them. Oh, the beef people. Yeah, the ones.
The beef, that was back in Orange.
That was back in Orange.
That was the Brew Hog restaurant in Orange, the city of Orange.
Yeah.
It's on Tustin Avenue. It's a nice barbecue place.
That was delicious barbecue.
I think we tried to ask if they wanted to come on, but that didn't work out. But that's okay. But I think we can get somebody from somewhere.
I'm tempting to go back down there and for my birthday. Or do you want it for your birthday?
I don't know. It's kind of a hike now to make it over there. I feel like we could go somewhere closer.
Well, we know the people. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well,
more out of my show. I know those.
We know the beef people.
I know them.
You know them. Okay.
Well, they don't to me.
They know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have gave him a call.
Creative Accidents did go to that restaurant when he was out here, and he's saying it was so nice. I have stickers from them, so he did enjoy Brew Hog restaurant.
Yeah, we got stickers too.
Yeah. It's good barbecue. It's a good restaurant. They do give stickers. Yeah, it's cool. So it's a cool place. Yeah. But Orange, California is a world away from Riverside, California.
That's only what?
It's across the county line, Uncle.
It is?
Yeah, it's in Orange County. It's not far into Orange County, but it's over there. We're not far into Riverside County, but still worlds away somehow. You got to believe me when it makes sense. When I tell you that it makes sense.
Look for the thing.
It makes sense, okay? We're in California, where talking to your neighbors is a stretch, and making it to the next county might be more difficult than it sounds on paper. Yeah. You got to get on that damn highway. Good luck with that.
Well, you have to do it when it's a holiday. It's usually pretty good to drive it.
Yeah, you got to pick and choose the hours you're on the highway. That's for sure.
That's what it is. It's the holidays you got to watch for. Because there's not many, and when the only time the people go away, I tell you when they go away up in the desert. They'll go up there. So when you come back down, here they come flying down the road. There they are. Look at all these people. And that's them from up there.
Uncle, we're getting another suggestion from Creative Accents. He's saying, Uncle, you should call Rainbow Bear's daughter and ask her to come to your show. Yeah. So,
Rainbow.
Yeah. So Bear,
I wanted to ask. Yeah, we should ask her.
We should see if we can track her down. Yeah.
I forgot about.
See if she's still got the land. Out
you.
See if she's still making the.
You can find the contacts. Yeah, you can talk. I'm not much of the contact man.
Yeah.
You do that.
I know. And I did make a revolution this year to get more guests. So far, it's been good. I got to keep going with it. We're going to keep pushing more guests. So we will have more guests. We're going to make this a good year, Uncle. A banner year.
What we have to do, of course, let the talk, but we have to do a little talking too. when the guests are.
Yeah, when the guests are on, we'll
When
do a
all the
little
guests are on.
talking.
Yeah, a
But
little talking.
It's going to be focused, I think, on them,
Yeah,
but
we'll
also
focus on them.
our conversation with them, which is going to be a unique conversation because this is Uncle the Broadcast, and,
Yeah.
that's why people listen, is because of the voice, the Uncle voice.
My voice has to speak. I mean, I've seen the difference in the past. It hasn't, and I think I'm jumping up ahead instead of dropping back because I'm not talking as much. That's what I think the feeling is happening here.
Ed is saying Alex was great last week, guys. Bring him back. So Alex Ansary, our guest last week. You remember him, Uncle? You remember our guest last week, Alex?
Oh.
Ed is saying that he really enjoyed him coming on as a guest.
He heard?
Yeah, he heard that show. He liked it.
Oh, so he's still listening. They've got to listening. Well,
So
I'm
he's
going to
still
make sure because if he's listening or is he working, I don't know.
Yeah, well, no,
I mean, that's his point. I don't know when Ed's working or when he's off.
It's a familiar problem, always working.
I mean, that's my problem with Ed.
He just works too much, yeah.
Take some time.
Take some time.
Ed.
I mean, well,
take some time, Ed.
easier said than done, right? That's we all need more time. If only we had it, but we're making the most of our time tonight, Uncle. We're making a broadcast. We're doing good. And then we're at the end of the show, Uncle.
We are?
Yeah, is there any shout-outs you want to give before we go?
Shout out to the listeners that are listening.
Good shout-out.
That's mine.
I'm going to shout out again to the statisticians or machine learning models that are doing the statistics in Vegas and giving us those favorable 50-1 odds, which we have made good on. So if you made the safe bet, you were right. I think we did it. I think we succeeded tonight. We talked.
We talked, and I think while we talked, they may have, in time, not now, in time, callers will come back.
They'll be back.
They'll be back.
We'll bring the phone lines back. We promise.
But
we're letting them sit and chill in the freezer for a minute. Then
Yeah,
they're going
put
to
them
thaw
in
out at some point, and we're going to cook them.
Yeah.
And when they're cooking, that's when you're going to call in, and you're going to be a roast lasagna that came out of the freezer, just ready to eat for dinner. And we can't wait for that, everybody.
Dinner? I already had my dinner.
So it's unclethepodcast.com, at Uncle Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and whatever the other one is, YouTube. Uncle, why don't you bring us home for this week here?
There's 325 episodes. Bye-bye.